I go away for 5 minutes and I leave them in charge of the podcast and they're all going, oh, there's no news this week. Sure, there's no news. Ah, sure, that's grand. And then about 5 minutes later, all the news drops. And you think I don't work. You think I don't work. When I tell you who will be working is Holly Hunter. That is correct. The breaking news today is that Holly Hunter, the Academy Award-winning actress, is going to be taking point on the new Starfleet Academy series. She is said to be cast as the captain and chancellor of Starfleet Academy. And this is big news. I am really happy about this news for like several reasons. One, I think the first bit of thing that makes me very happy is that this shows that they are not going to be cutting corners. They are not going to be just taking an off chance when it comes to Starfleet Academy. It means they've got confidence in the show. Because quite frankly, you don't go and hire an Oscar-winning actor to be the star, or at least the... I'll come back to that, the star, in a second, but you don't hire them to be one of the main faces of your show if you're hoping for a one season and you hope for the best. And that actually makes me feel quite confident as well, because we have previously spoken about the things that have been revealed about Starfleet Academy. And I think the biggest thing before now was that they had thrown everything in the kitchen sink into building this amazingly giant atrium set, which is incredible. And I'm really happy that they're obviously committing so much to it. But the fact that Holly Hunter has been cast and hired in the show as well, already I'm going, okay, I am so interested to see where this is coming. Variety broke the news that co-showrunners Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau are so stoked to have Holly Hunter joining their cast for this show. And I mean, who wouldn't be? Who wouldn't be? She won her Oscar for the 1993 Jane Campion film, The Piano, which I'm going to tell you right now, I watched when I was way too young. Yeah. It's not just about a piano, put it that way. And she was fabulous in the role. Also, I mean, this has nothing to do with this news, but I just want to say as well, Holly Hunter played all of those piano scenes herself in that film, and as someone who has played the piano a bit in my life, she's crazy talented. You know, people will know her from various different projects. She was also Academy Award nominated for her role in 13. And the reason I bring that up is, one, another film I watched way too young, but two, therein was a film in which she was in charge of teenage characters, and oh, I wouldn't wish that job on anyone. Because of course, if she's going to be the Chancellor and Captain of the Academy, one would have to assume she's going to be dealing an awful lot with teenage or young adult people in this show. As was previously reported back in March, the crew in this show, they're cadets. These are people who have never dealt with a red alert before. These are people who don't know how to operate, or at least are learning how to operate transporters and phasers. These are not your regular Starfleet officers. And they're going to need a firm leading hand for that. And I can think of no one better. Now that we know it's Holly Hunter, I'm just like, oh, what a perfect casting. She is joining a rather select group of Oscar winners who joined Star Trek. Obviously, Whoopi Goldberg. We had Louise Fletcher, who played the love-to-hater Kai Wynn. And we had F. Murray Abraham, who, say what you like about Star Trek Insurrection, but he nailed the part of Ardar Ruafo. Of course, please don't think that I'm forgetting Michelle Yeoh, who won the Academy Award for her role in Everything Everywhere All at Once. She is a funny one in that she was in Star Trek and then won the Oscar. So, I mean, to anyone out there wondering whether Star Trek kills your career, it does not. It really does not. And of course, she will be returning to Star Trek to head up Section 31 as well. So think about it. You've got two projects that will be, because we're not 100% sure on, of course, when Section 31 is going to be released, but fairly close together projects, both being headed up by Oscar-winning actors. That, to me, suggests a huge, and I've said this already, a huge confidence in Star Trek going forward. I said a couple of minutes ago about, you know, oh, is Holly Hunter the star of the show, and I said I'd come back to it. Well, because we don't really know what the format of Starfleet Academy is going to be like. Are we going to be following Holly Hunter and her character's role in guiding and steering these cadets? Or is that going to be flipped and we're going to be following the cadets, which in my mind is far more likely, and how they interact with their day-to-day and those around them? I think it's... nothing is guaranteed, so I do have to say, inverted commas, we don't know yet. But I think it's safe to assume that Mary Wiseman is going to be reprising the role of Tilly in Starfleet Academy as well. We've known for a couple of months that it is going to be set in the 32nd century. I'm really excited to see what they do with it and what Starfleet Academy looks like. Now, we have, this fierce character in Holly Hunter's Captain and Chancellor. I'm going to say we're pretty sure that we're going to have Tilly as well. So I'm really, really, really interested, happy, excited, a little bit hungry, not really much to do with this, to see what's going to happen. Now, Starfleet Academy, we know, is going to start filming later on this summer in Toronto. Honestly, I wouldn't be expecting it, certainly not early doors 2025. I think if we were lucky, we would get it late 2025. More likely we're going to get it 2026. But listen, give it time, do it right, and let's look forward to this show rather than rushing to put something out there as well. And then with that, of course, so here's the state of Star Trek at the moment. We know Starfleet Academy is going to go into filming end of this summer. We know that Strange New Worlds Season 3 coming along next year with Season 4 confirmed. We know Discovery, as of the recording of this video, finishes next week, which is a strange thing to say, but Discovery's coming to an end with that final episode. We know that Lower Decks is going to air Season 5 later this year, which will then bring that to a close. And we know Star Trek Prodigy Season 2 is somewhere out there in the ether, will be dropping at some point this year. Just if you like a little personal update on that, we have reached out to both Paramount and Netflix about, kind of when can we expect Prodigy Season 2, and the answer is... So as soon as we know about that, we will let you know. Last but not least, of course, Section 31 featuring Rachel Garrett. I cannot wait to see what that looks like. Will be dropping in the future. Yeah, I know you're like, John, this is less a news video and more a we don't know stuff video. It's still more than they had on the podcast. That, however, is not all in terms of news. It has been revealed by multiple sources. The story first broke on the online platform Puck, but it's been confirmed now by multiple sources, including The Hollywood Reporter and Variety, that Simon Kinberg is in talks to produce this long-awaited Star Trek film that's on the books. You might know Simon Kinberg's work. He has produced pretty much all of the X-Men films since he became first involved in X-Men 3, The Last Stand, which he co-wrote. I'm going to come back to that in a second. He then produced all of the succeeding X-Men films. He has produced the Deadpool films, so they were pretty good. He did produce Fan Four Stick. So he's done rather a lot. He is in talks to produce this new Star Trek film. This is the one that's being directed by Toby Haynes, who directed episodes of Andor and directed the Black Mirror episode USS Calendar, and is being written by Seth Grahame-Smith, who Simon Kinberg previously collaborated with on Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. I will admit to you for a second that I was a little bit apprehensive. And this is nothing against the man. My first reaction was, oh no, because the X-Men films, they tried the Phoenix Saga twice, one co-written by him and one directed by him, and neither one of which went particularly well. But on the flip side, he produced Days of Future Past, for example, which in my opinion is still one of the best X-Men films. So benefit of the doubt. This Star Trek film is said to be an origin story that is set decades before the events of 2009's the Kelvinverse reboot. But it is being said to be in the prime timeline, basically looking at the formation of Starfleet. So after First Contact. By the sounds of it, it's a bit unclear about whether we're basically getting Enterprise the film, which I would be fine with, although I don't necessarily think we need that story again. Then again, you never know. This could be actually the big budget and big screen outing of the NX-01 crew, which, I mean, I don't think anyone's expecting, but I would be delighted if that happened. This is separate again. Although it is being produced by J.J. Abrams, it's separate again to the, at this stage, mythological Star Trek IV that is said to be the sequel to Star Trek Beyond, that's said to feature all of the... Sure, Jan. Show me a trailer. Show me a trailer. I mean, I want to be wrong. I'm in that position right now. But the fact that we have a director, so for this, I'm going to call it the Kinberg film for a second, but the fact that we have a director, a writer, and a producer now on board, for me, suggests that, right, we're a little bit further to this becoming a reality. And I mean, I want it to happen. I want it to happen. You might be watching this being just like, yes, Sean, I'm bowled over by your confidence. I suppose, well, it's very early days. If indeed it might even be earlier days than we think. But if it does come to pass that there is going to be actually, what am I saying? There will be another Star Trek film. Think about, the space between Star Trek Nemesis and the 2009 film. When Star Trek Nemesis aired, I couldn't have predicted what they were going to do in Star Trek 2009. And like that, love them or hate them, it did bring Star Trek back in a big way. So because we have no idea, other than origin story, what this might look like, I am very much keeping an open mind. I am, I say, benefit of the doubt. Let's see what it becomes down the line. And as I say, look, I could say that we've been talking about this forever, and it'll happen when it happens, and it'll happen when it happens. We have some names attached. The next thing, I guess, we will be looking at casting. And I'm sure there's going to be all sorts of rumors. As I say, you never know. We could see Scott Bakula back in charge of the Enterprise, or we could go a completely different route. All the best to them all. Let's hope for the best film that we can get. So to quickly sum up, we have massive casting news for Starfleet Academy. Very happy about this. We have a producer now attached to the new Star Trek film, the origin film, whatever that will end up looking like. That is big. We know the state of Star Trek at the moment, and yeah, it is a wild time. So keep checking back on TrekCulture. Make sure that you're subscribed and turn those notifications on as well, because that will help you keep as up to date as possible with this. We have a whole lot more stuff coming this week and next. We have stuff coming, of course, with the ups and downs for the last 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery. This is bonkers. And we will talk to you very soon. Thank you so much. I have been Sean Ferrick. Please subscribe to me on all of the various platforms. And of course, subscribe to @EditChrisEdit as well. And of course, most importantly, make sure you're following TrekCulture. You are awesome. You are wonderful. Live long and prosper. And I will talk to you soon. Thanks very much.